Okay, so I got virtual church tonight, so I figured what better time to get into my beauty guru bag. I'm just gonna get started. If you see me looking to the side, it's because I have this big old mirror here because my dumb self left my vanity at school. So 2020 was a year, not the greatest year, obviously. I think my face is already primed. This is not like a structured video by any means. I'm gonna go into this a little bit later, but I kind of wanted to start doing more YouTube videos because I used to do some like a lot over the summer. Well, I did like live streams, and then I did like my Q&A intro video, but after like a lot of stuff started happening, I kind of just like stopped. So not good. I pretty much am just trying to get something out to kind of start the year so that like I'm not in this headspace of like, oh, when am I gonna do next YouTube video? So now I'm just like, I'm just gonna shoot whatever. So I'm not a beauty guru. I do not do makeup on the regular. So this is just me trying to figure out something to do while I'm doing makeup, and makeup's fun for me. So we're just gonna like go into that. If there's anything I'm doing that is wrong or that Jackie Aina wouldn't do not pay attention to me. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. So 2020 was a year. I feel like we really just like, everybody wants to get out of it so badly. And please best believe me, I 100% do too. It's just like, I feel like whenever we go into a new year, we all have this like big, I'm gonna plan everything out, and I'm gonna like do this that I wasn't able to do last year, and I'm gonna do that I wasn't able to do last year, and all this stuff. And I kind of wonder like, maybe we should leave that mentality, you know? Or at least like maybe like be a little nicer to ourselves when it comes to goal setting for the new year. I genuinely like always feel some type of way whenever we enter into the new year. I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves to achieve everything we weren't able to do before. This concealer is oh, I didn't even show anything. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation in 360 Mocha. It's kind of too dark for me, so I kind of go in with a way too light concealer. This is the Can't Stop Won't Stop by NYX in the color Golden. Yeah. And this one's way too light. It kind of gives me like ghost under eyes, but I figure it out. But as I was saying, I think everybody went into 2020 with this whole like,
2020 vision, I'm gonna get all this stuff done, I'm gonna do so much, like I'm gonna accomplish everything.
And then we end up in a pandemic. And obviously like, we all could see, sorry. Ooh, I don't like putting makeup on my nose. Obviously, like, we all ended up seeing like what that ended up doing for all of us. I kind of go in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal, what color is this? In Beautiful Bronze, and I kind of put it under my eyes too to kind of offset how light this concealer is. But I feel like we have like a bad habit of just going so ham in it, and I think we could really take the time to like stop and be a little more flexible and say, okay, what exactly do I think I can do this year, or at least what am I planning for the beginning of the year? And that's the reason why like I kind of have to always sit down and reflect at the end of the year and ask myself like, what is actually tangible for me to do in this year, regardless of what happens? Like, what do I know I need to get done this year versus what are just some things that I think sounds good for me to do this year, but I'm not 100% sure. And it's always good to have like reach goals, but like you kind of lose that sense of flexibility because, like, as much as we want to be in control of everything, we're just not. And as a result, you know, we kind of put ourselves in this bad position because we were pressuring ourselves to do all these different things and we just didn't accomplish them. Or maybe you did, you know. There's some, like, for me, for example, at the beginning of last year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like release an EP and I'm gonna, you know, like do all this different stuff and blah blah blah. I was gonna get an internship over the summer, and what ended up happening, I did not release my EP, but I did not get an internship last summer. But a lot of good things happened because I ended up learning that I needed to be more flexible. For example, I didn't get to do my EP in the first half of the year, but I still released like 3 songs last year. Shout out to Under the Sun, Awkward Length Hiding. Go to my Spotify, check it out. Gotta do a shameless plug. Well, it's not shameless. It's my own channel. I'm somebody who would rather just take things as they come. This is the Black Opal True Color. I'm just gonna like kind of contour with it. I feel like we don't really take things as they come, but instead...
Wait a minute!
I completely misjudged this color. I can't contour with it. I feel like we kind of like misjudge things as they come. So that's, let me just blend this out because that was not right. That was funny. I don't really contour anyway. I don't really find the need for it. Anyways, I'm just gonna move on to eyes. I currently, one thing I need to do is I need to buy more eyeshadow palettes. This is the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Neutrals 3 palette. This was like $12 from Ulta. But as I was saying, that's kind of why I have that like love-hate relationship with kind of goal setting for the new year, because it just never feels that necessary for me. At least once the year starts, it's like, why am I going out of my way, pushing myself to make these hefty, lofty goals when like kind of I'm not 100% sure what I even want in the year, and I try to make sure they're like flexible goals, you know. Now, onto the flip side, because this is why I hate setting goals for the new year. I do love setting goals for the new year, primarily just because I think setting goals for the new year really gives you direction. I know this sounds like I'm on a tangent, but setting goals for the new year does really help you. I think that if you have a good idea of the things you're interested in doing, it can actually really be beneficial for you. However, my kind of warning right there is always just be careful that you're not going out of your way to do something that isn't actually going to be beneficial for you, you know? So overall, because I'm just rambling at this point, I don't like setting goals in the new year, mainly because I feel like we put so much trust and hope in it, and maybe it's just like also being a Christian and everything, and you know, knowing that as much as we like to think we're in control of things, we're really not. Things will change in like the blink of an eye, and we kind of have to like learn how to be more flexible, especially when, like, for example, if you're a Christian, how to be more flexible to the will of God. And we just have to learn how to be more flexible and how to really bounce back from things, because if there's anything 2020 taught us, it's you're gonna have to learn how to bounce back in any situation, even when like the world shuts down for a month or so, which it should have shut down for longer because but anyways, going into like the good things about goal setting, I think everyone needs a sense of direction in the year. I think everyone needs that like change in the year and that impact in the year. And I think it's good. I just don't think you necessarily need to set all your goals by January 1st, 2021, you know? Last year, actually, I didn't set, because at the beginning of the year in January, my church always does this like 21 days prayer and fasting. And I feel like even if like you're not religious or you don't really fast or anything, I feel like chilling when it comes to January, and saying, I'm gonna feel this year out, see what kind of opportunities are gonna start showing itself, because a lot of things can happen in a month, and you'll be surprised that when you really take some time to like sit down with the things you're thinking about doing over the year and really assessing their feasibility, like you'll be surprised at how much they can like change over the course of a month. And I think that also just kind of gives you a little more time to really sit down with yourself and ask yourself, like, do I really know what I want to do this year? Do I even need to have overarching goals? Because I think a whole nother question we need to ask is, do I even need to have like goals for the new year? You know what I'm saying? Like, besides the things that you're already doing and you already know you're gonna do I really need to sit down and plan? Because I feel like depending on the phase of your life that you're in, you might not actually need to sit down and plan anything out for the new year. You might be fine. You know what I mean? You might be good to just go into the new year and take it with stride, Because I feel like that's also a good point that we kind of don't think about, of just taking the new year the way it comes, Because sometimes we might not, You might already have things that you're setting up to, that you were setting up to accomplish in 2020, and all you need to do in 2021 is continue. You don't necessarily need to sit down and like make these lofty goals or anything. But yeah, anyways, so going into kind of my goals for the year, because I feel like that's gonna be the most interesting point rather than me rambling. Going into my goals for the year, let me get this on. Going into my goals for the year, I think one of my biggest primary goals for the year is to just release more music. And you can hear, like, I'm making that pretty flexible in its own. I'm not saying, like, obviously the top tier goal for me always is having a body of work out. So for me, that's like releasing an EP. But overall, like, I want to release more music this year. Last year, I was so surprised by the reception that I got for my music. And I was honestly kind of shocked at, like, I was actually kind of mad at myself, because I was like questioning, like, why was I waiting so long to release music? If I had known that it was going to get the kind of reception that it got, because I'm just somebody who is such a perfectionist, and I think that really impacted the time. But of course, God's timing is perfect, but I think that really impacted like how much hesitation I went through to even do it in the first place. And I think this year, a goal for me is just to kind of continue and to aim for a body of work, but if not, then just, to get more out there. Another goal for me is to do more YouTube videos. I think, obviously, this one is going to be kind of interesting because I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I don't even know if I'm going to use this footage, but because I feel like I've just been rambling. But I feel like YouTube videos are something I want to do, especially ones related to like music making, and I might start posting more covers and stuff on my YouTube channel, just to kind of like, have a place to express myself creatively. I think another thing I want to do music related is get better at guitar, because currently I'm like, okay, I'm not good enough where I'm confident to play in front of people by any means. So that's like my goal. It's not even to like be able to compose music on guitar or anything, just to be confident enough to play like on videos and stuff like that. That's my major goal for guitar this year.
I love you, bitch.
Oh my god.
I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
Another goal is to lose weight. My summer after my freshman year, I decided to lose weight, and I actually did. I ended up losing, I was 154 at the beginning of summer, and I ended up losing, I was 132 by the end of summer. So I lost over 20 pounds over like 3 months. And yeah, and I was able to maintain it for most of my sophomore year, and then Corona happened and I was stuck at home. And honestly, once like we were forced to be in quarantine and everything, the discipline was just gone. And I like food, so I was like, there's nothing really stopping me. I'm not seeing anybody, so like, not to say that, you know, losing weight should be contingent on people seeing me, but basically I ended up gaining all the weight back. So I ended up coming right back to 154 by the time I got back, and right now I weigh 153, so woo, 1 pound. I was just doing so much, and I ended up just not being really in the best position for losing weight and for taking care of it. So yeah, and I think, of course, a goal, but this is kind of like a goal all the days of my life, but like getting closer to God, of course, you know, studying my Bible. I think last year was actually the most I had done when it came to Bible study and stuff like that. So, you know, not that I'm patting myself on the back, because like if I'm able to do anything with God or relating to God, that is God doing it. That is not me like in my sheer willpower, like discipline or anything, because you know, self-control comes from the Holy Spirit. So I pray that, you know, I'll be able to keep getting closer and keep doing better. And yeah, that's pretty much my goal. Those are pretty much my goals for the year. I don't really, you know, have that much that, like I said before, a big thing with goal setting for me is finding the things that are tangible for me to do and making sure that I'm not like playing myself or like trying to make sure that I'm not playing myself, or trying to make sure that I'm being serious about them, that either they're tangible or they're flexible enough that I'm not stressing over it. So I think that's like a big thing for me when it comes to goal setting, is like making sure that they can still happen and they can still work, but just not pressuring myself to like do the most, you know? So with that being said, what to expect this year? As I was talking about a little bit earlier, I am starting, oh yeah, I need my eyebrows. I am starting a new podcast, and it's called Omal with Lola, basically separating the two parts of my name, and it's kind of more like, not necessarily personal, but it's more just like whatever I want on it. I'm not trying to like make it too structured, but it's primarily gonna just be about like music, different random things happening, things that like I don't want to make into a YouTube video, because I don't really feel like sitting and trying to figure out something to do with my hands while I'm talking to a screen. But it's basically just gonna have a lot of cool things on it. Really, just if you want to hear me talk about anything, trust me, don't let this YouTube video be an indicator of how much you want to hear me talk. I promise let me not actually say that I'm profound, but I promise like I actually intend to talk about legit stuff. So that's kind of my goal. So those are just some things to expect. Also expect more music videos. And yeah, I mean, I try to get more ambitious as the year goes. So if more things are happening this year that I said I wanted to make happen, or that by God's grace happens, then I typically, just keep making new goals. The more you achieve your like SMART goals or the realistic goals you set for yourself in the year, the better it feels when you accomplish them, because I feel like it feels so much better to have made goals that you actually accomplished over the course of the year than to just make like a bunch of different goals and to try to do all these different things and then you realize you weren't able to achieve all those. I feel like by the end of the year you're never really satisfied, but when you make those goals tangible and then you start doing them month by month and you find yourself achieving them over the course of the year, you're able to start setting new goals that then become tangible because you already accomplished the goals you did before at the beginning of the year. So it just continues to get better and better. So yeah, I think like that's always the beauty, I think, of goal setting, is making those goals that you can actually achieve and making those goals that are actually going to help you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously this is a pretty like everyday, honestly, if I'm doing everyday makeup, I'm not doing any eyeshadow, so this is like a weird mix of like everyday with a dash of try hard, I guess, a dash of beat, not really. But if you like this video, make sure to like this video. I know this is pretty like rambly. Typically I would like try to like plan what I'm gonna say out, but I didn't really feel like doing that. So this is pretty much it. I decided to do my makeup. Make sure to like and subscribe, especially because I do have things coming up. As I was saying in the video, do have music, do have production stuff. I have maybe some vlogs if you want to see me do nothing for a bunch of days. And yeah, like and subscribe, be on the lookout for stuff, be on the lookout for my podcast. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at itsomalola. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.